United come into this one just 3 points behind Man City, and yet there seems to be this sort of negative aura about Manchester United still. There's still a bit of that fragility, but the numbers suggest otherwise. They've won 6 of their last 8. Only Arsenal have collected more points than Manchester United. And yet, it almost feels like United is just not that far away from a crisis, Carlton.
Well, I think it's the performances. You know, as you've said, I think there's only Arsenal and Liverpool have picked up more points than Man United. They're the form team. Funny enough, going into the weekend's game, Bournemouth and Man United are the form teams. Ten Hag has won Manager of the Month. And
they got a clean sweep as well for all three awards, Player of the Month and Goal of the Month as well.
Exactly, McTominay's got, you know, Player of the Month. So, yeah, it's just because the performances haven't been convincing, right? So, you know, and they've been playing teams at the bottom end of the table. They've got Bournemouth again, who are at the bottom end of the table. And, you know, I expect them to collect 3 points again. And everybody's saying, like, you know, oh, United are not doing great, they're not doing great.
But they did get points against Chelsea, though, albeit Chelsea not in great form, but still. Yeah. It's still a Chelsea side.
I thought Chelsea were poor. I'm not in that school that Man United played that well.
Okay.
I thought they did okay. I didn't think they, you know, I thought Chelsea were poor myself. And they've been very inconsistent under Pochettino.
I mean, why is there such a scrutiny on Manchester United, Danny? I mean, when, say, Spurs or even Newcastle don't get that same amount of scrutiny, I understand they have injuries, but so do Manchester United.
Well, you know, you look at Chelsea here, you know, we've got 19 points. They're not really under any scrutiny, you know, for the money that they've spent and for the manager that they've got and the players they've got. I just think, for me personally, there's a narrative against Man United. I'm going to say that. But I think the positives are for United are if they're not playing that well and they're still picking up points. You know, listen, yes, it's Luton at home, they won 1-0.
But isn't that not a positive thing?
That's
even
what I'm saying,
when
that's a positive, yeah. I think so you know there's still more to come and they're still winning games. And I think they've always said over the years, if you can win games and you're not playing well, then there's always a positive.
The question is that, isn't it, Carlton? Why is it so negative? I understand you're saying the performances isn't convincing, but you're talking about other teams. Man City haven't been convincing. They've been off par, and yet you don't get that same level of negativity around it.
No, but you've got to remember, Manchester United is a massive football club, and after last season, I thought they overachieved last season. Expectations become high. I think the talk was at the start of the season that Manchester United were going to challenge for the league title. And you know, I mean, they're not a million miles off challenging for the league title, but they don't look as if they don't look as convincing as the teams who are at the top.
I think the performances in Champions League maybe also mixed into that reaction as well, because it's in the Champions League where they really struggled.
Well, they've lost 10 games this season, 6 of them in the Premier League, which for Manchester United, it's just not good enough. So, you know, you know that, Danny knows that, when you play for Manchester United, when you play for big clubs, the expectation is for you to do well. I think with Chelsea, Pochettino's been given a bit of latitude, and I think he should be given a bit of latitude because that's a massive job to undertake there.
Yeah.
For me, I think just a quick one. I think the problem that United have got at the moment is they're not scoring that many goals. They've only scored 18 goals this season, and they've conceded 18, so the goal difference is 0. Yeah. Whereas the teams around them, I think there's only 5 or 6 Premier League teams that have scored less than United. So I think that's an area that they need to improve on. I think they brought Højlund in for a lot of money, and he's not got off the market in the Premier League, and we want him to.